Welcome along to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
If you're enjoying these insights into rugby, maybe take a second now to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out.
Good call.
Today, we're focusing on something quite profound, really. It's the impact of Cornal Hendricks, specifically looking at the tributes after his sad passing on May 14th.
Yeah, it's sent ripple through the whole community. We're looking mainly at an article from the SouthAfrican.com today.
That's right. And it highlights a couple of key things, an Instagram post from Willie le Roux, who's obviously a very close friend.
And teammate.
And teammate, yes. And also a really moving letter from Bryan Habana.
Two absolute legends of the game paying tribute.
Exactly. So the idea for this deep dive is, well, to try and understand the significance of Hendricks' life, his career, through these very personal farewells and just the sheer emotion we saw from fans.
Let's start with Willie le Roux. His tribute was very concise, wasn't it?
It really was. Just straight to the point on Instagram. R.I.P. my friend Arnier at Cornal Hendricks.
My friend. Simple.
Yeah.
But the article points out, and I think it's right, that even with so few words, the emotion felt, well, palpable. You could feel it.
Definitely. And the fan reactions mentioned in the piece really back that up, don't they? They show how much people connected, not just with Hendricks, but with that partnership he had with le Roux.
Yeah, like at RIAENVANWYK mentioned their combo on the field. What a combination they were.
That's a great point. They had that sort of different skill set that just clicked, didn't they? Le Roux's, maybe. Unpredictability.
Yeah, the flair. And Hendricks just had that raw power and finishing ability.
They complemented each other incredibly well. And it wasn't just on the pitch, was it? Someone else at Jared Lee Wary's pointed out how close they were as friends.
Right, that deeper connection. And you see the sadness reflected in other comments, too, like at Amanda saying how sad it was and treasure the memories.
Yeah, and at Lindy White talking about lasting memories and him being at peace now. It shows that collective grief, but also that appreciation for what he brought.
It really underscores how sometimes, less is more. A short, heartfelt message can say so much.
Absolutely. So shifting then to Bryan Habana's tribute, this was, well, quite different, much longer, much more detailed.
Yeah, and he started off by admitting he was finding it hard.
Yeah.
Struggling for words, saying the news felt unreal.
That honesty really hits you, doesn't it? Sets the tone.
It does. And then he described Hendricks. How did he put it? A true warrior on the field, but an even bigger inspiration off it. That's quite a statement from someone like Habana.
It really is. It makes you think, what was it about Hendricks off the field that makes such a big impression?
Well, Habana touched on that. He mentioned his energy apparently just lit up the room. And he talked about his zest for life being infectious.
Wow. You can sort of picture that, can't you? Someone bringing that kind of positive vibe into the Springbok camp or any team environment.
Definitely. And that positivity ties into what Habana really seemed to focus on, which was Hendricks' resilience.
Ah, yes. He said it wasn't just a trait. It was a way of life.
Exactly. Mentioning the journey, from setbacks to stunning comebacks, from humble beginnings to the world's biggest stage.
Thinking about his career, that comeback after the heart condition diagnosis has to be top of the list for resilience, surely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, to be told you might not play again and then fight your way back to that level, that's what's extraordinary.
It really is. And Ivana also mentioned his pride and passion, his purpose, that desire to always contribute positively. Sounds like he just gave everything.
Played with his whole heart, as you said earlier. Yeah. And Habana finished with, sending condolences to the family, which is obviously key.
So when you put those two together, le Roux's short, sharp pain and Habana's detailed reflection, what sort of picture emerges for you? What are the common threads?
I think it's that deep respect, maybe even love, from his peers. That's undeniable. And this recurring theme of his character. Strong on the field, yes, but maybe even stronger off it.
Yeah, that duality, the warrior and the inspiration. It suggests someone who was more than just, a guy who was good at rugby. He clearly touched lives.
Definitely. And look, if you're finding this deep dive valuable, just a quick reminder to subscribe to Rugby Obsession. We explore stories like this all the time.
Well said. Now, this actually leads us to something the article brought up, a question directly for the fans and for you listening now.
Yes, the question about their best moment.
Exactly, it asked. Which is Willie and Cornal best moment in the Springbok jersey?
It's a great question. What springs to mind for you when you think about them playing together for the Boks?
Oh, that's a tough one. So many moments. But yeah, we really want to hear from you on this. What partnerships, what specific tries or plays involving both of them stand out in your memory?
Let us know. Leave a comment. Engage with the conversation. It's a great way to remember their impact.
Absolutely.
So, wrapping this up, looking at these tributes, it's just crystal clear how much respect and, frankly, affection Cornal Hendricks commanded. Yeah, the raw emotion from Willie le Roux, the thoughtful words from Bryan Habana, and knowing that's echoed by countless fans, it really speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It speaks to his character, his impact on the sport, and maybe just him as a person.
So what are your final thoughts on Cornal Hendricks' legacy? What stands out most to you about him? We'd genuinely love to hear your opinions.
Please do share them. And one last time, if you want more conversations like this, more deep dives into the rugby world, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession.
Definitely worth it.
Thank you so much for listening to this Rugby Obsession deep dive.
We really appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to you joining us for our next episode.